Hi there. I've just moved into this new house and I thought I'd make some videos about my Laserdisc collection. I know that's a bit bizarre, old-fashioned, whatever, but they seem to have a bit of a resurgence these days if you can get buying them. And these were originally in a giant big Kallax, which unfortunately couldn't get upstairs. And because of that, it got left downstairs, but there's no point taking them apart because you never put them back together again with the stability. So I've ended up with these two Kallaxes, new Kallaxes. Well, actually, this one used to go on top of the old one. So I've got quite a few Laserdiscs, and I'm now looking to get another couple of these shells for the rest of them that are lying around on this floor. And I thought it might be quite an interesting idea, actually, to go through these, because I've just put them in there. There's some I've sorted out. I think I sorted out the Woody Allens and the James Bonds. But for all intents and purposes, apart from a few here, I don't actually know what's in any of these Kallaxes, apart from if I was to look on the spine. If I wanted to find one of the discs, I would have to get on my knees and have a look. Now, I'm never going to put them in order, and they never actually were in any form of alphabetical order. I think that's really, I don't know, it's not my sort of nature to do that. But I thought it might make some interesting videos if I was to pick a particular cell of these Kallaxes and pull out some discs. Now, most of them you've probably seen, and you'll go, oh my God, that's another copy of Backdraft or whatever. But some people haven't seen. That's the funny thing about Laserdiscs, is that you think you've got quite a lot of them, and you realise there's another X thousands that you haven't got. You obviously never might want to get, but it just seems to be a bit bizarre that for some people who say it's a failed format, it seems to have lasted, you know, they seem to have churned out quite a lot of stuff in that time. Now, I still watch this stuff either on a 4K TV with a bit of scaling from a DVD 50 thing, or on Pioneer plasma player here. But if you sit back and avoid a bit of the fuzz and get the scaling right, so some of the pictures, widescreen pictures, don't end up as little rectangles in the middle of the screen. Airport 75, I'm looking at you now. You can probably have some quite good fun with them. Now, I bought these Laserdiscs from about probably the late 80s, early, about 89 or something. I think I might have bought my first one, which was 2001: A Space Odyssey, from Cambridge Circus in London. There used to be a sort of a record shop there that stocked Laserdiscs. I sort of happened to come across and wonder what these things were. The first one I bought was 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is really my sort of favourite film. I actually didn't have a player at the time, and so I had to go out and find £1,000 somewhere to go and buy a player. I can't remember which one it was now, but for some reason later on I got rid of it. Whether it was actually working or not, I'm not sure why it wasn't working. I'm sure there was something really simple about it. And I think the next player I got was probably a 515 and then a 925. And then obviously then you switched into watching DVDs. And that's probably the time when you should have gone, my God, I could buy all these late release Laserdiscs, which you actually never did because you were buying DVDs at the time, or picked up some high-end players, which you never did because you were buying DVDs at the time. Gradually you come back to these things because you quite like the covers. And over the time, I've built up sort of a small collection. Most of these are NTSC discs, American, and there are some Japanese ones, which I tend to buy just for the covers, sometimes duplicating ones I've already got. But there are some PAL discs in here. A few of them get played from time to time. So I thought we'd start off by going down this little group. And I'll do this one lot for this one video, and then if I find it, hopefully maybe some of you out there find it interesting, I can do another cell and work my way down. Because there'll be some discs in here which you probably haven't seen, or probably have seen, never want to see again, etc. But for those people who are starting out, you can go, my God, I didn't know that was out, or stuff like that. Well, for my first film, or first picture, as the guy in the draftsman's contract says, I will pick Stalker, a film by whatever his name is, Tarkovsky or someone. And this is a Japanese, again, Japanese release. And I bought this ages ago, absolutely ages. And I thought the other day, oh, I bet I know where my error is in this, because this is a Russian soundtrack film with Japanese subtitles, and it doesn't actually have any English writing on it, any English soundtrack at all. Wonderful. I don't have the mono audio set up on things, it just runs through a digital picture, so a digital optical output. So I have no way of testing if it actually does, but I don't think it does. And that's Stalker from the Classic Film Collection. It doesn't actually have any digital symbols on it either, and it says mono as well. So one assumes that this is what it is. I played about 10 minutes of it just to see what it was like. The picture's rather oddly brown and grainy. I couldn't quite figure that one out. But sadly it will remain unwatched unless I go buy the Blu-ray of it somewhere along the line, which probably could be the better idea of that. Now the next one, that's my first of Boo Boo. That was bought quite a few years ago. Not very expensive. My next one is El Topo. Now most of these films I saw at the cinema when I was a lad. And I remember seeing this and thinking, what's supposed to be a Mexican or Spanish Western done in this sort of style by this guy. And the picture on this is quite good. But it's in mono. It's in well, mono. It's not a digital disc either. So this one is one that is pretty pointless as well, as far as I can work out. I'm not too sure I have any real need to actually watch it, but it was, I think, going cheap at the time from someone. Prices of these things go up, down, and sideways, so you can never tell. But if you want to get one, make sure you've got it in your analog port set up. Well, that's two. I only got about another 700 to go. What's down here, the next one? Ah, Denzel Washington, Devil in a Blue Dress. Rather a good film, the young Denzel. Yes. 2 thumbs up, as Mr. Ebert and Siskel say, with the wonderful British certificate of cleanliness stuck to it. Because when you first went buying these in England, there weren't many shops, 1 or 2, and they tended to bring in, one I remember going to, they tended to bring in old films, like you could watch Ben-Hur and various other things, but you couldn't actually watch, they never really brought in sort of films like Dirty Harry or Manhunter, because they were afraid of the British certificate of, people used to go raid these shops and apply these stickers to the films. Rather bizarre at the time, I thought. And it was really only Tower Records in London and Piccadilly Circus who started actually bringing them in, proper up-to-date films where you could wander around before going to the cinema on a Sunday night, as I remember, and go, oh my God, that's in stock. And how much is that? Oh, that's £38. Plus that one, that's £38. Which is quite a lot of money. Next one we have Slaughterhouse 5, which is quite a interesting film about a guy who supposedly hops between 1940s Dresden when he's a captured prisoner and outer space, Whether it's actually him dreaming or not, I really don't know. But some of these I pull out and going, oh, I'll watch these at some point again. Save me looking down at the spines. Next one, Back to the Future, PAL. Now, I've actually got all three of these Back to the Future films, and they were bought one time with a player, because lots of people, when they were switching to DVDs, etc., etc., had a small collection, so they usually sold them off with the machine, so you end up sometimes with duplicates of, let me think, Independence Day and Titanic, and I got all three of these with a player I got at the time. I can't say I've actually ever watched them. I've seen the films, but I've never actually watched these particular discs. Next we have JFK. This is the Japanese version of the American version, which I got somewhere, and the extended box set. I always thought this was actually quite a good film, though I can't say I've ever watched this particular disc, but of course with Japanese stuff you do get all the more interesting bits stuck inside, which make them quite nice. And I think I've discovered this fold out booklet now, which I didn't realise was in here. What's all this? JFK, whatever that is. Ah yes, you get a whole shootout front page newspaper. That's it. I'm holding upside down, the sideways on. Yes. Yes, that's President Johnson, or the future President Johnson, and Mr. Kennedy's ex-wife, Jackie, him getting sworn in on the plane. Yes, I haven't actually seen this before. I think it's probably because I actually haven't opened up this disc. Oh, and LGG graphics. Not that I've ever had a machine that plays LGG graphics, as far as I know. And more stuff in Japanese. So, rather nice, rather nice. And that has JFK. Rather a good film, I think. One of these ones where he proves that some guy could shoot them, or not shoot them, I can't remember. Yes, but not bad. A nice, nice cover. With a nice spine that doesn't wear away. And next we have Breakdown, which is rather an excellent little film. With Kurt Russell and his wife gets kidnapped. Got the infamous J.T. Walsh, star of many a 80s and 90s film, playing the bad guy. Yes, very good film. I think recently remade, I think, wasn't it, or some that. And next we have Stallone, First Blood. I used to stick NTSC system on it just in case you thought you were buying the British version, which only came out much later on. Great cover, Point Blank, very good. I think they still use this cover on the British, this is much better than on the British Blu-ray. Excellent. Oh look, Tina Turner in Rio with a gold disc, CD videos, another remarketing exercise on videos at the time, or DVD, Laserdisc at the time. It's a good little sing along. Next we have the Criterion Game, the game. I think I saw the Blu-ray of this, the Criterion Blu-ray the other night. Rather a good picture. I can't say the picture on this, but I don't think I've actually watched this particular copy. I do have the original normal release. Excellent film. If you've never seen it, make sure you get to watch it. Because once you watched it once, you actually know the ending. But very good. Oh, here's one I hadn't watched. I've seen the film when it came out a billion years ago, but I never actually watched this disc. Though this disc was bought quite some time ago. Is this a... Oh, it's the MGM with their typical cover. Yes. Good little film, as I remember. Next, oh, Highlander director's cut. There can be only one. Oh hey. Not bad at all. Discs live in here and in here. Whoops. Yes. The Manchurian Candidate. The original, I think, 62 with Frank Sinatra and various others. Lawrence Harvey, Janet Leigh. I think I prefer the pacing of the Denzel Washington one to this, as this is of its time, I think. But it's very good, with Henry de Silva's rather wooden acting. Oh, a nice cover, nice disc. And last of all in our current little rundown, Ice Station Zebra. Patrick McGoohan took some time off from filming The Prisoner to go and make this film. It's a good little actioneer, but I can't help thinking there's a rather rubbishy studio set right at the end where he's actually is at Ice Station Zebra, and they're wandering around all this rather fake snow. Let's see what's inside this. Because while I've watched this disc, I don't think I've actually taken it out of its package. Let's have a look. Oh. There we are, running around the fake snow. The fake rock. Nice poster. And a list also of films you can get. Oh, Rain Man, got that. Ben-Hur. Missed out Bugs Bunny. Yes. Oh, Dr. Zhivago. Oh yes, the old classics. Yes. So, I hope you enjoyed this quick run through of one particular pile of Laserdiscs, and you'll tune in next time when I get round to going through the next pile, and hope it hasn't been a bit slow or boring for you. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.